Oh, there it goes. There it goes, Ma. Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I don't really care if people agree with the things that I have to say. That's not that's not my intention here. I just want people to think, oh, there is maybe more than one way that, things can be. Things aren't just one kind of way. Everybody on this planet is having a separate experience about how they're incarnating on this life. A lot of people, I don't know, it's a broad spectrum. It's whatever you can imagine. People have lived it, and if they're not doing it now, they've lived it in another time. I think about how ultimately, there are only so many thoughts a human being can have based on their spectrum. I think about how many people just think about the same thoughts over and over and over based on what they're motivated on. A lot of people, I've been saying toe a lot lately. Toe, based on my reality, because Mom has a bum toe and we've been nursing it back to health, because we're those people, we don't like going to the doctors. I don't know if you noticed, but it ain't all right now at doctors, man. So we're relatively healthy. We've always been pretty healthy, and I think about, the life that Mom has had. My mom has had the most miraculous life. Just the fact that she can walk alone. I think about how, of all the parents in all the world, how many people's parents had to learn to walk when they were born because their feet were deformed and bent backwards. She was born with club feet, and then the doctors used her because it wasn't such a common thing, and they used her as a guinea pig to try this and try that, and tendon replacement here. She must have had 6 surgeries on her feet alone before she was 7, 8. She took her first steps in casts up to her past her knees. That determination, that's where I come from. And then when I was born, they cut her uterus in half. Took her ovary, threw it in the garbage. Who knows what they did with it. They didn't have her consent. They didn't have her permission. They've been doing this stuff all along, and people just, my whole life is based on events that just haven't, that stuff doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Babies don't get raped. That stuff doesn't happen. And they all get to benefit and prosper from these twisted dark realities. Right? But all the while they can't really put the grasp, because the people that say it's your fathers, it's your uncles, it's your brothers, it's your husbands that are doing these things. You act like you don't know, but you got a good idea. Anyway, people can't hide the truth anymore. The Aquarius blue movement, it's just like, and everybody's speeding up in frequency, so their bullshit freaking meters should, if you've been doing the work and if proper diet, maybe some exercise here and there, you're not freaking chasing sensations everywhere you go and just trying to find places to put your private parts for whatever. If you've done the work, then you're getting to a point that, things, you can tell when someone's lying. You're like a human tuning. You could tell the frequency of a lie. Sometimes it takes me a while because I want to believe what people tell me. So I'd like to believe I'm a truthful being. So things are getting really interesting. The thumbnail I put on the moon on my talk today was from the moon last night. It was full this morning at 8:11, Now it'll just get smaller from here on out. So, but I got it last night. Still be pretty full tonight. But I got it last night, and the clouds are behind the moon. That's the second one I got like that. I got one in Oregon like that. And it was yesterday, Ma. It's 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I was like, no wonder I've been having these cravings for alcohol, because it was 4 years ago. It's because these energies are potent, and and it was 4 years ago yesterday that it was the eclipse in Salem. Mom only saw it a second because energies like that aren't good for elders or animals. You don't let them be out in that. It's not good that I was out in it really, but I was freaking calibrating. I was drinking during that period of time too. That was a hard time. See, because I trained so hard. I worked so hard. And I think about all this effort that I put in to lose the weight, to go in the Air Force when I was 26, to be in Operation Iraqi bullshit and witness all this shit, and then to realize, oh yeah, all the suspicions that I had were verified, that it's all a show. And this country, what it does to itself to perpetuate and stimulate economies is dirty and gross. And it's all run by this, a group of freaking weird people that do nasty stuff. That do gross, nasty stuff. For evil, wicked freaking benefits. And the quicker people figure it out. I thought it was weird. I noticed this. With all the storylines with like Operation Paperclip and stuff like that. I used to go, and freaking Alcoholics Anonymous isn't even what it used to be. It's all Zoom meetings and passcodes and bullshit, They even succumbed to the fear. And there was times that people were secretly meeting in speakeasies and clubhouses, to help pass the message. They didn't care. They were going to spread that message. And now it's like, nope, we suck dick just like everybody else. So, I thought it was weird. Because it was like, I was in the Air Force, and I'd gotten sober, and I started going to meetings, and it's just like, dude, it's all infiltrated too. There's arranged marriages, and, people telling each other their deepest, darkest secrets. And I know that other people know my business based on who frickin' my sponsors, and there's it's just people being people, another group where people are being people, right? And the people that were like at the top that started the whole thing, I'll be damned if she wasn't in the freaking CIA when she was in her 20s, and he didn't work in a radio station up in Chicago. I mean, come on, man. If you don't got the right blood in you, you ain't gonna make it. And I even have the good blood in me. But see, the thing is I wouldn't sacrifice. I wouldn't trade my morals and my beliefs to put myself in a position where I'm going to have to answer to somebody day in and day out. I did for a long time. I worked very hard to integrate myself into that system. And then what I found out is it's all a game, and it's all bullshit. And it's all run by a bunch of freaking nutty, freaking cokehead drunks. Yeah. People that kind of are coming up with the decisions, running the show, and all these states and all these counties. I'll be damned if some freaking heifer is going to tell me what I need to do to be healthy. I ain't going to have it. I'm not. I'm not. See, this world has always been in an uncomfortable place for me. It's never been. I've always had to get comfortable in shitty situations because other people don't feel fit to give me what I deserve. Because for some other reason, people get a conceptual idea that I deserve fucking less. It's so weird. It's always been like that. I can't even make this stuff up, man. So, learning more about all this stuff No, I didn't even know about. What the point I'm trying to make is we're getting a point into the frequency, and it's funny because I've say this frequency, and then this guy at the coffee shop said it yesterday. He was like, everybody's spinning up in frequency, right? And either people are gonna be able to get used to the new vibrational frequencies of this planet, or they're gonna short out, just nut up, do stupid stuff, freaking shoot themselves, take them and their whole family. We're gonna see more of what we've been seeing, because people don't know how to handle their emotions and handle their feelings, so they're just gonna opt out. So I swear my life isn't in vain, and I'm here to help people. Hey man, if I can live through all the shit that I've lived through in the first 12 years of my life, whatever people are coping with, the hurts of their parents or whatever, I can help with that stuff, See, pain and anger, that's the stuff that weighs people down, and it drags you into the past. People got to acknowledge it, freaking let that stuff go in an energetic way, and move on. Most days I'm freaking transmuting energy. Like when I meditate in the afternoon, I'm constantly transmuting energy, because my endocrine system is up here all the time. I'm one of those that are always like high alert, high alert, knowing that God is freaking looking out for me, and God has given me enough sense in my life and enough experience that whatever comes up, as much as it sucks if I have to do it, I can handle most whatever situation comes up in life, because I already have. I look at 15-year-olds now, and I'm like, dude, what would they do if their parent had a stroke? If like one of their parents was out of town? I mean, like, how would these kids handle this stuff? Kids don't know how to. People don't know how to solve problems. Kitty. They don't know. They don't know line of thought. How this thought can lead to this thought. All they know is how to read a book, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is how things are. I hate that stuff, man. Colleges and accreditations and stuff like that. It's like, okay, so you read these books, and you write what you interpret on these books. And this person over here asks you questions written on these books. And if you get it right, then you can make $1 million a year. Okay? But if somebody, like had a cousin and gave them all the assignments, had them do all the work, right? But they weren't like going through the course, but they did all the work, they would have all the knowledge, that the doctor had all the way along, But because it's not accredited, it's just weird. And all of this stuff is a club. It's all a club. Every business, every government alphabet office, it's all a club. It's just my buddy runs it, and these are the kind of things that we do. I was in the Air Force. That is one of the biggest, largest clubs on the planet. It was all fahooey. It was all a bunch of shit. A bunch of freaking... Oh my gosh. And I say, like, and it sucks because it's like, some people that I know, and they're cool people, right? And their dads are dying, and their dads were lieutenant colonels and, generals and all these higher ranks. And I'm like, dude, they got more money in God from freaking, from generations of perpetuating this bullshit. From Vietnam, from always sending our sons and daughters over to far off lands in the idea of freedom, when it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, dude. We're told a story. Americans eat it up hook, line, and sinker. And it's really disappointing. I saw a story that somebody did about wrestling and this Judas wrestler, and how these people are praising this Judas guy who's this wrestler, and they're all singing his tune, homage, harvesting that life force energy. What are people really spending their energy on, man? I mean, I know a lot of people that don't have a lot of income, And so when they piss it away on their freaking shit, like, I mean, people, you know, grown adults, these are grown adults that still go and piss away their money on this stuff, you know? Crack society are getting wider everywhere. But, you know, people are have no problem glorifying their freaking Luciferi tale theater. They got no problem with it. The money, the property, the prestige, the greed, you know? Oh, and hey, guess what time of year it is? It's August now. We're coming up on fall. Prime freaking spiritual D-bag convention meeting time in Sedona. Those people make my third eye twitch. Get your reading for $500. Money's not real. Data and information is. Helping people is. But people still, you know, what they do for that fake shit. It's fun to watch. It's going to be interesting. It's just always interesting. Life just gets more and more interesting, I tell you what. I just have a harder time wanting to participate in it. I just want to keep, like, I got my own little world here, you know. Me and Ma and the critters. You know, we got the freaking beautiful sky right outside. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I started to talk about how AA was infiltrated, and then I saw this today. The Christmas party. I got to this Christmas party a lot. Just look where it is. Just look where it is. Look where they're hosting it. Now they're one of those people that are just like, we do not align with any outside sect, denomination, religion, group, or anything like that. You know? Okay, that's fine if you don't want to. Bob, they're having the Christmas party in Omaha AA at the Scottish Rite Masonic Center. With all the Freemason shit and all the freaking, you know how I've been talking, like, oh my God, they're full of Freemasons. Because I remember when creepy CJ, I'll just say his initials, I'm not going to say his real name, but CJ, everybody loved this guy. The guy gave me the creeps, man. He freaking grabbed my hand one time, he did this weird, like, tickle thing on it. And I was like, whoa! Because it creeped me out. Because I've had dudes freaking do perverted, weird stuff. You know, I've had dudes expose themselves to me in bathrooms when I was... all that... just freaking dudes are creepy. And so it's like, I don't know, I'm a creep magnet or something. And so, like, and then I was like, whoa, what was that? And later it occurred to me, it was one of their secret handshakes. It's just like, yep, and in Omaha's right there. Jesuit University. Go Blue Jays, right? Which fits right into all the sports, gematria, and BS. I worked at the building right in the library, right next to the cathedral. Everybody knew where the access was to the underground tunnels. And I still continue to see all the time around big freaking, you know, nasty event times is, you know, when the moon's full, the nefarious are doing gross stuff, and there's freaking kids missing left and right all over the place. It's only going to get worse, folks. It's only going to get worse because more and more people are starting to see it, and the more and more people that start to look into a room and see the elephant in the room, the more that you can't deny it, it just get acknowledged more and more. So people are just going to have to make their choice. Are you going to live your life, you know, in a godly way? Or are you just going to keep perpetuating that Lucy fairy tale story? You know, living your self-will, just doing whatever you want, and F everybody else around you. It's their problem, it's their life. That's not how collective consciousness is supposed to work. And with more and more people raising their vibrational frequency, more and more people are going to be tuning into stuff. And you're going to freaking... You may not have had the same life experience as me, but You might go to sleep tonight and freaking have a dream and experience what I had, you know, but only it's more real to you because I was a 10-month-old baby. My spirit remembers although my hip still pops, but anyway, God only gives us more He don't give us more than we can handle. He just has a lot higher expectation of some of us than others. I mean, the pressure that I've seen people buckle under is just like, oh no, you ain't gonna be okay. You ain't gonna be alright. A lot of people aren't gonna be alright, but doesn't mean I'm still not gonna be around to stick out a hand and help them up when they fall down. You know, spiritual triage, that's what we're supposed to be here for. You know, I don't got a personal, you know, if somebody needs help, I'm not going to go through a checklist and determine that they fit all the criteria of all the things that I require for somebody to be, you know, eligible for any help I can offer. You know, and that's what all these non-for-profits and crap do. It never goes to the people. They just keep opening more offices, buying more letterhead, but it never freaking goes. It never does. People are figuring it out. Slowly but surely. They're figuring it out. I busted muffin. That's funny. How many places do I have the stream going? Anyway. What else is going on? So people's spectrums are merging. People are becoming more empathetic. People are, you know, they're having... hopefully more and more people are detoxing too. I had a little nudge from universe, from creator today. Yeah, I had a nudge today. I was at the coffee shop this morning, and I freaking like shitty food sometimes. I like good food, healthy, clean food, but every now and again, me Breaking Bad instead of doing a bottle of Fifth of JD or something like that. Me is like getting a little package of beef bologna. And then for a week or so, I'm freaking grubbing on freaking sourdough and fried bologna sandwiches. Just food that is nasty. Then a fellow at the coffee shop was telling me how he used to work at Hormel. I used to work at these food processing plants where they made this stuff. And he affirmed as to why I have no business putting that stuff in my body. No business, you know? And I was like, yeah, I'm just a freaking spirit having a human experience, you know? But, I will every now and again go to the butcher store and get a nice grass-fed, local cut piece of meat every now and again. But me and we haven't felt like... We eat chicken from time to time, but not a whole lot of meat, not a whole lot of beef. Both of us have a hard time digesting it. I don't know. Anyway, so all in all, today's been a pretty good day. We're just kind of trying to, you know... Mom's still nursing her toe. She has been cooperating, though. She has. That's been kind of cool. We soaked it today in Epsom salt. I put more hydrogen peroxide on it. And it's a lot less tender than it was yesterday, even, huh, Mom? Like, I can touch the side of it now, and she doesn't freaking wince and flinch and stuff that... I hate it, man. I don't like hurting people, because I know what it feels like to freaking be in pain. And I hate doing that to other people. Oh, my gosh. I don't understand people that like to hurt other people. And I see it in the most subtle ways where somebody is just chipping away at somebody. Just like being a dick, talking trash, just being a jerk. You know? And it's not even the positive, like, banter, ribbon back and forth. No, when people are just, like, trying to hurt people's... And you see it all the time within the family dynamic. I see it at a restaurant. I hear it at the, you know... I'm paying close enough attention to somebody else. I'm gonna see how somebody has the attitude of hierarchy and The idea and notion that we're all created equal has evaded them. You know, people are going to figure it out more and more and more. And if you don't figure it out in this freaking life, at least you're going to figure out that energy doesn't die. And whatever you do in this life, even if you don't get it back to you, even if you freaking smooth sailing all that, this whole, you live this life, everything you always wanted, you're with the person, you're just always been in love, everything goes great. That ain't a wave that's going to last, you know? Because people don't freaking, not how many people live lives like that, doing it in a righteous way without cheating and, you know, dumping on somebody. So, anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of getting tired of these incarnations. I'm just... Oh, I am excited to report I got a back rack. I found a back rack, and I was going to go get it today up in Royal Hondo. It's north of here. But the lady's going to deliver it in town on Tuesday. I'll meet her in town. She sounds like a real nice lady. She likes to give older people rides to the store and do their errands and stuff like that, which is something I can really get behind. That's really cool that people do that. And taking care of our elders, man, that's what freaking... Dude, they know. They're the history keepers. The real ones. You know? And I hate seeing how people treat... I remember working at a freaking restaurant, Chevy's, in the early 90s, 93, 94, and there was like an older guy in his 70s, and evidently he had kind of pervy tendencies. But what I understood is the guy had like either he had a stroke or he had a dementia or something like that. But he honestly, I don't believe that he felt that he was a 70-something-year-old man. I think he felt like he was that kid again. You know what, Mom? Like it did a switch and he went back into a place and stayed there. You know, and granted it ain't appropriate for him to be making advances at, you know, stuff like that. I just wonder if he realizes, you know, who he is and the age he is, in which the heart space and the advances come from. But anyway, we've been watching Big Bang Theory, and I'm seeing all the once you see feeding you and stuff, man, it kind of freaking ruins all that. But I still do it. I still get enjoyment out of it. Mom laughs a lot. And I was like, you know, I'm like a Sheldon that can read feelings. We're